Here comes the bride, partially bug-eyed, feathers all brown and green. Let's just hope the groom's still keen. Hen pecked for eternity, unless our Hen Knight snatches victory. D8 Services is not responsible for brides and or grooms devolving into chickens or any other foul-based creatures. No refunds available. Ever. Special guests, the Irish Pubcast and Arcavios Eternal, join our very own Cael in the concluding part of the Hen Knight. They definitely don't mess it up.
Oh no.
Bok?
There's a very old-looking hen. There's a very wet-looking hen. There's a very rural-looking hen. And there's a very golden-looking hen.
Not very rural.
You may decide amongst the four of you which hens I was referring to.
Bok? Bok?
What the fuck?
What?
Is there? I look around to see if there's any crates or boxes in this alleyway anywhere.
There is. It's filled. It's filled with.
Okay. Is there anything that's big enough to hold 4 hens?
There is.
Okay. The other tertiary hens, who I barely remember their names, I'm like, well, I'm sorry, and I just kind of perch that one into another box, another crate by itself, the one that I caught. I'm like, and I start to try and wrangle the other 4 of different variations of looks and geography, from the sounds of it.
I presume we can't talk.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, because I just heard Granny there a second ago.
Well, Granny just went full kilter, and so did Mariella. Well, Mariella's committing to the character, you see. Mariella's committing to the character of Hen.
Bok?
If only I hadn't used up my 2 second-level spell shot slots, I could have cast Lesser Restoration, but
Bok, darling.
Can any of you understand what I'm saying?
Can we?
You all understand what Nedris is saying, because one of the weird side effects, Nedris, of the Abyssal Song, it seems to have sort of, I mean, you imbibed more of it than anybody else, bar Destiny, where it took hold of Destiny and transformed her. You seem to have, you've drawn one peculiar property from it. You have the ability to communicate with chickens.
Okay. I have an idea, and oh no, this is gonna be an interesting evening. It's an interesting evening already. I need everyone to get into this box right here. I just gesture towards the box, and I can help anyone up into it.
Darling, not to sound like that, but we have a nicer box.
I think in the current situation, maybe just cuddle into one of the more cleaner hens, and we'll need to. I have an idea to fix this, but I'm gonna have to bring you somewhere, and this is the easiest way.
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, we've got legs, but
Yeah, I'll get in. I don't think it's gonna look. It's gonna look quite suspicious of a halfling with a parade of chickens running past her or after her through the city. We're gonna draw some attention.
hey, look, no, I'll take the free ride.
Mariella's going to try and flap into the box.
Okay.
Even chicken farm, my back and legs are sore, so yeah, I'm not being carried.
Just for those of you who need it, here are the stats for a chicken.
Oh my god, right, go ahead.
I just popped them there into the chat, so if you click that link, you have your stats for a chicken.
Is this including mental stats?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Is everybody hopping into the box that Nedris is holding?
Yes.
Yeah, I wanna trot alongside, but I think I know I shouldn't, so.
If look, Nedris is not going to argue. If you want to trot alongside, you can. But Nedris is now kind of trying to make the best out of a bad situation.
Right.
DM, would I know of anywhere in the town nearby that would have an apothecary that I could go to?
If you head back up to the market and you take the western road, You pass several kind of merchants and businesses that do operate as apothecaries and alchemists and herbalists.
I'm going to find one that Nedris would know from her dealings with it as a field medic. And I'm going to start making my way towards that an apothecary so I can go and get supplies to try and brew some sort of antidote if I can.
You head north, back up towards the market square here in Tezrab. It's late into the night, Nedris, as you're carrying a box full of chickens, and as you trundle down the road, kind of heaving this box with you, just kind of behind you, you do hear what about us? From the other one's like, yeah, we're also chickens, just kind of in the background. And in all good professions, you just have to drown out those who you can't save, and you can save these four, and that's enough right now. That's going to appease your conscience for now. You're heading north, and immediately you're going to hang a left because you know that Bill in the bumpy toadstool should have the stuff that you need. You deal with him. He's a rather cantankerous owl fella. He says he's an herbalist. The shop doesn't really have an inventory, which means sometimes he's got great stuff and sometimes he's got nothing but like house slip that he's just literally trying to bundle off on poor tourists. As you are making your way, you do hear, trundling up the road towards you, a bugbear pulling a very heavy cart. You just hear incessant nagging and henpecking coming from the cart.
Do I recognize the voices?
You don't, but where the others were, able to stagger a sentence together or demand a nicer, posher, cleaner box, these voices are all like, oh, we're outside, where's the food? There's no food outside, we're outside, get off me, you're off me, get off my leg. It's just a constant, like, mishmash of voices, it's like a choir of hens. This bugbear, he's wearing kind of dungaree overalls, one hook kind of off and half hanging down, and a very thick rope knotted belt around his waist. Thick brown fur, large pointed tusks kind of just extending out from his jaw, and yellow kind of cat-like eyes. Moaning.
Hello, are you? And I'm kind of like standing there with the crate and whatever chickens are around me. Are you taking those things to sell them somewhere?
Yup.
Is there like a market of some sort for chickens?
There's a warehouse full of chickens.
Oh, a warehouse, you say? And where would this warehouse be?
And he leans down very close. Why are you asking?
Oh, chickens. And I kind of just gesture at the chickens in general. Like, it's just a theme that I'm interested in chickens. I like them.
You ain't muscling on my territory, are you?
Oh, no, you misunderstand me. These are performing chickens. And I would like to go and source some new talent.
What kind of performance do your chickens do?
Well, funny you should ask.
I start straightening up and kind of marching.
I tried to do ballerina stuff from when I was young.
Mariella's going to attempt to like jump onto the like edge of the box and just do like a little feathery dance.
The Uhura feather, the feather dance. Give me anyone who's doing a performance. Give me a performance check.
Oh, using the chicken stats.
Okay.
Yep.
Sugar, using the chicken. So
Do we still have like? So if I'm proficient in performance, do I still?
I tell you, yeah. Given your background, you never lose that. You never lose talent. So you can roll with advantage.
4.
Okay. So, sorry, chickens have a -3 to charisma. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct. Yep, no.
That's a 5 with advantage.
15. Sorry, Mariella. In your face.
Nice.
Well, I am a bit of a bumpkin, so I should be more familiar with chicken performance.
And what is your chicken performance, Ferrari? What are you doing as a bumpkin chicken?
I imagine in my head that Mariella is one of those really nice, like French chickens, with all the tufts.
got like plumage that comes up here. Like
Yeah. Total nonsense.
it mimics like her neckline in the dress, like this V shape.
Yeah, you're a cowl neck chicken.
She's kind of like that fish from Shark Tale, and it looks like she has boobies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm Martin Scorsese in Shark Tale. No, that's not true.
What is it?
I look like I'm just like a Rhode Island red, like basic ass chicken, but I am doing good stamping and just sidestepping. I didn't try anything too fancy, so I got away with it, I think.
And Cael is just like in what is presumably not a particularly large box, just getting like jostled to fuck, being like, ow, stop, ah.
The bugbear leans down a little bit and kind of peers into the box. Those are mad weird chickens you got yourself there, but I like the cut of that one's jib. And he points at Verere. Seems like my kind of folk, that chicken.
Yes, and it's definitely something you'd pay a silver for, right?
I'd give you 2 silver pieces if you wanted to part with her.
I'm gonna shimmy a little bit in behind your legs a little bit.
No. I recognize talent when I see it, and this is definitely, she's staying with the family. But what I mean is that if I was to build on the show, if it's just, I need to find more chickens, all right? Not necessarily ones for eating. Good, plump, maybe even impressively posh chickens, if you know what I mean.
I reckon I do.
Oh, if you could point me in the direction of this warehouse, I would be greatly appreciated. I will give you 2 silver, if you know what I mean.
I reckon I do. And he holds out a hand to you.
Oh, and he just puts the 2 silver in his hand. Yeah.
When you drop the money in the bugbear's hand, he full on blushes. Well, it's awfully late for a pretty lady like yourself to be carting chickens round city. So I reckon I could give you 2 silver pieces, if you know what I mean, to allow me the duly honor of escorting a nice lady like yourself to McGucket Nugget warehouse / slaughterhouse factory.
Yeah, I suppose. Thank you. Do you want me to? I could just, I could just hoist the cart.
And how big is the cart compared to Nedris?
The cart is like something you would carry people in. It actually, it's a repurposed carriage that he's using to transport chickens in.
Just, if you could just give me a second just to confer with my troop here.
And she kind of gestures towards the box.
Just 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
I just stumble off to the side.
Look, I understand you guys are all chickens. I get that, right? But it's one thing. This guy is going to lead us to where the chickens are, or I bring you and I turn you all back into what you were. If maybe. I think I could brew a potion. It's 50-50. Or we can wait for this all to wear off. It could be tomorrow morning. I don't know.
Not to be like that, but Destiny could be not around anymore by then.
Couldn't help but notice the word slaughterhouse in there.
Yeah, me too, Doc.
That was noticeable. Yeah, I saw that too. I got that. I did pick up on it.
I'm sure that this is the right warehouse. This could be a coincidence.
I mean, look, I'm a firm believer in where it has to happen because we're looking for where chickens go. This guy's going where chickens go. If Giselle is gonna be what Giselle is, and she's trying to like, what better place to get rid of a chicken than a slaughterhouse? It makes sense. I mean, come on.
What do you think? No, again, slaughterhouse and with chickens.
No, I will say I don't really mind, but I was, just as a quick aside, how's everybody on having a cloaca? That's a bit of a... I've never had one before. It's a little unusual. I'm not sure if I dig it really.
There could be a load of things going wrong here. I don't like the idea of him looking at you like that. I don't like the idea of being a chicken in the slaughterhouse. The only thing that we have going for us is we are at least still ourselves and we'll have the wit to get away from anything, maybe.
A bit worried because I don't know about the rest of yous, but I think I'm about to lay an egg. Again.
Oh.
Give me a Constitution saving throw there, ready?
Constitution. Just regular Constitution?
Your chicken Constitution, yep.
So, 11.
It's not an egg. It's just gas, Granny. And you had that before you were a chicken.
Oh, it's all right, I guess. Oh, God, but maybe hold your breaths for a bit. Oh, that's a doozy.
Look, darlings, as much as I don't want to be a chicken anymore, despite the fact that I'm the most fabulous looking chicken out of us all, I think perhaps Destiny's on a bit of a time limit right now, going to the slaughterhouse.
More importantly, it kind of sounds like you're in there, Nedris, and if you want us to like surreptitiously guide you through this like some sort of situational comedy thing, we can do that. We can can feed you lines. Not that you need them.
He's so into you.
He's not really my type. To be honest.
Oh. Okay, well that's fine.
He's a bit too. Look, I don't like him that big. I mean, anyone that I can crawl up inside is not a good thing.
Oh my.
So I've been in situations like that before, and it doesn't end well.
Darling, that's fine. Whatever you want to do.
I think we're definitely on the clock here, but I could try if I could get. Hey, yo, big guy. How long is the trek to this warehouse?
Nedris, when you had kind of scooted away from the cart to talk to your hens, he had gone back round the side of his cart and started talking to his hens and getting their advice on the situation as well. But as you call out to him, he swings back and you see that he's actually slicked his hair.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
He's buttoned up the other strap of his dungaree and he's stuffed a bit of hay into the little buckle to kind of make a little decoration. I reckon it's a good stroll. Maybe plenty of time to get to know each other. I'm Wiley. Wiley Shuckle, by the way.
It's very nice to meet you, Wiley. My name is Nedris Rosebottle. So if we're against, and I kind of just turn back to the group, if we're against it here, if we're against the clock, I think we need to just go. And if this is the right warehouse, we just need to find Giselle. Well, you kind of know Giselle the best. Maybe think of an idea of what kind of a chicken she would look like. And then we would be able to kind of pick her out of a crowd of chickens.
Destiny was to be a chicken. She would probably look very beautiful. I mean, she's always been stunning. So probably the most captivating chicken of the lot, probably. Very, possibly green in tone.
Oh, that's unique for a chicken.
I mean, she's a half-orc, so, and we look like this, so it's possible she might be green.
That you can probably speak to her is the other thing.
Yeah, I'm still coming to grips with that. I can understand every fucking chicken in that crate, and it's really nerving. It's I'm a bit on edge, if I'm honest.
Maybe don't mention the word slaughterhouse to them then.
Okay, yo, Waylon Jennings here. What's your name? What's your name again?
Well, Miss Rosebottle, you can call me Wiley.
Wiley. Okay, Wiley. Well, suppose I'm just gonna sit up on the front of the cart there with my troop, and let's go to the warehouse, I suppose.
I reckon that would be a very nice thing that you would do if you would accompany me on a little moonlight stroll through the city, and we can talk about things that we like, lots of things that we have in common, like chickens.
Yeah, I suppose.
Nedris gets up with the crowd and hoops up anyone that's not in the box, and we're kind of up on the front part of the wagon. That's as we move along.
Have you got a favorite chicken?
I don't like to choose because they're all so special. They're special in their own way, I guess. No favorite.
Really? No favorite?
Shut the fuck up.
As the cart rolls down the road, very awkwardly, because Wiley does not know what to say beyond chickens. He is as socially anxious and awkward as Nedris is. Panting and heaving, bursting out of the yellow cauldron, Doris comes running with your belongings, the stuff you'd left and the gifts. Oh, it's just you. Well, if you could see that your friend got these, that would be great. You left everything behind when you bolted out. Unless you're leaving them for us to have, then in which case, thanks.
What is it? What stuff is it?
It's all the gifts and the personal belongings and effects that you all just left in the bar.
And I rummaged for my bag that I brought with all of the antidotes for the morning after for all of the hangovers. I was like, where's my bag? What's that? And I kind of rummaged through them and I try to find it.
Wiley just kind of like, because everything's bundled into his arms and he kind of puts it back. You know, he like still holding the cart in one arm, just kind of shuffles everything over his shoulder towards you, Nedris. You didn't ask, but I'm quite fond of the Galeshire Snowbreast chicken. It's just the plumage, and I hope I'm not coming across as a little too forward, Miss Rosebottle, but I reckon you're as pretty as a Galeshire Snowbreast chicken.
Wiley, that's very sweet. It's very sweet. I have no fucking idea what that chicken looks like, but do me a favor. You see those, help yourself. Grab one of those things. Look through it. If you find something that looks like one of those breasty chickens, fucking have it. I know, yeah.
And I'm still rummaging for the stuff.
Hey, are any of those presents from Giselle? Anything there we could kind of look for clues or anything, or was her present the booze? She hardly left like evidence behind, but I'm just thinking the whole thing is like if she's taking her to, you know, and he kind of swipes a wing across his neck in a decapitation gesture. Maybe it's not about money. Maybe it's an infighting thing. Maybe it's trying to social discord or something. I'm trying to work it all out, and he starts like ineffectively batting his wings at presents.
I found her purse in the bathroom, so that's probably amongst the things.
You're all just rifling through the belongings as Wiley continues to pull through it. Nedris, you find the bag. You'd know it anywhere, and you rummage around it, and you did. You'd made 8. You weren't sure how many people were going to be at this thing, but you made 8. Or actually, I tell you what. Give me a roll of a D8, and we'll add 2 to whatever you roll.
Cool. I rolled 6, so I made 8.
You have 8. That was a waste of 12 seconds.
But there was a small chance of him rolling a 1 and only having 3
I was really hoping it
would. My dice love me, what can I say? If I was rolling this on D&D Beyond, I'd be shafted.
Cael bats 6 of them out of your hand.
Not those ones. and he drinks too. You're all kind of spinning through the belongings. Mariella, as you are kind of fishing through the rest of the bag, Giselle's bag, you do come across like a little folder at the bottom of the bag. At the same time, Nedris, you have found your bottle of your cure-all potions that was not pre-planned. This was what Wayne brought, or Nedris brought as her.
Nedris is a dry shite, so Nedris would have brought like fucking Alka-Seltzer to a fucking hen party.
You pull out the bottles. Mariella, you've stumbled across, well, it's quite, you're not quite sure what you're looking at. It looks like a lot of business stock. You don't do any of the paperwork. That's your agent. Your agent does all the paperwork. But you do see the Whiterocks company logo. There's mention of, you see Giselle's name, you see Destiny. It's all a lot of palaver. Like, it's all a lot of nonsense. Verere, Granny, Cael, is there anything that either of you or any of you are doing?
I was excited there about the possibility of Nidris having to play Sophie's chicken, but apart from that, no. No, I'm waiting to see what these potions are going to do. I'm fully understand the fact that I'm now a chicken. I'm kind of, there's very little I can do about it.
I think Granny's just gonna just sit there and kind of just wait and relax and enjoy the moment. Get used to what it's like to be a chicken, just in case she's going to be stuck in it. It has some bonuses. She's probably looking a lot younger. There's less pains. Life might be short and quick if we go to the slaughterhouse and it turns bad, And the last thing she'll remember is probably fried chicken, and who doesn't love that? So.
Oh, Granny, that's weird. Granny's thinking about cooking herself and eating herself.
I mean, chickens are cannibalistic.
They are. Wait, are they?
Yeah, fun fact.
Oh.
No.
I mean, that's not really a fun fact as it is more of a horrifying fact.
Under the guise of detective work or anything investigative, Cael's just kind of being nosy. He's just kind of looking through other gifts there to see what people got, what the rich people all brought.
While Mariella's rifling through paperwork that she found, Verere is having an existential crisis, and Granny's having a culinary crisis. Cael, you're kind of filtering through kind of everything else, and there's someone who's done a painting of Destiny. It's like a wedding pose, and Destiny's sitting down and she's wearing a long flowing white glistening gown, and standing kind of with one hand on her shoulder, delicately placed there. It looks to be a groom, but where the head is, it's just blank, and it says just insert groom here.
He doesn't necessarily point that out, but he makes a mental note of it. As he's nosing around, does he come across any of the invitations or anything?
In everybody's kind of belongings, effectively, yeah, there were the invitations sent out by Giselle, kind of inviting everybody to attend.
Okay, lovely invitations. These were, I assume, Destiny didn't write these herself or anything, did she? I love the stationery.
Nedris looks up quickly while rummaging through the bags.
Okay, all right, I might have found a way out of this crazy shit.
And she kind of motions over to the box or where everyone else is around the cart. It's like,
Wiley, just in case you're about to see some weird shit, I want to apologize, beforehand. It's been a very lovely 10 minutes of a walk. And Nedra starts to pour the potion down every chicken's throat. Or anyone that is willing for me to pour the potion down the throat.
Yeah.
Oh, this is some foie gras bullshit.
But Mariella's like, look, I've had enough terrible liquids tonight. One more couldn't hurt, I guess.
Now, DM, it's your shout whether this actually does anything. If you want me to roll for something, I can. It's totally your call. Because this is just something I happen to bring. So I'm totally open for you being the adjudicator on this.
I am going to get... So everybody's imbibing the cure-all tonic.
Mm-hmm.
All of you can give me a con save roll.
As a chicken?
As a chicken.
As a chicken. I mean, what's my con? Well, just roll it.
Oh, what's the chicken's con?
Only -1.
10.
Oh, 6.
I got a 9.
3.
As you neck the potions, literally, as it's poured down your necks, Mariella, it feels like a great steam detox rolled into a seaweed bath, rolled into Himalayan salt, rolled into an isolation tank.
Ooh.
But in liquid form, and you're being force-fed it.
I've had worse.
You've had worse, apparently. And as you kind of shimmy a little bit, you're like, oh yeah, that's running through me. A hand just kind of reaches up. You grasp the rim of the carriage, and you've now plonked yourself next to Nidris, and Wiley is just he just starts clapping. I mean, I thought that I thought the scratching and the dancing was something else, but you got transforming chickens.
I mean, I told you, we're just performers, wonderful, talented, excellent performers. Darling, Nedris, you might not have the best fashion taste, but you know what you're doing with this potion malarkey.
I can definitely mix a drink, and Medjus is just staring expectantly at the rest of the chickens.
Yeah. And the rest of the chickens, there is a bubbling, broiling sensation in your belly. And the feathers fall away. And you find yourselves a little bit colder, a little less hen-like, and a lot more abyssal-like, as the tonic transforms you even further.
Oh,
Shit.
And now you're more abyssal than you are chicken, as Granny, Verere, and Cael transform again into abyssal chickens.
I'm fucking here for it.
Oh my god.
This does not sit with my whole sort of genetic situation here, guys. Not feeling it.
They have to get powers from this one. Abyssal chickens have to be able to do something.
all I'm saying, if you're abyssal chickens, there's transforming abyssal chickens. There's definitely more than meets the eye to us.
There is. Abyssal chickens get the ability to multi-attack. There you have it. And in the box, there are still... Sorry, you popped them up on the bench next to you. There are now 3 horrifying abyssal chicken creatures.
Oh.
And Wiley has kind of gone white. I mean, that one lady chicken who's now a lady is mighty lovely. The other ones, though... I mean, at least they're pre-plucked. McGucket Nuggets usually take that off the sale price.
Yeah, it's definitely a real swings and roundabouts situation here, Wiley. Okay, I think maybe we should get going on this one because oh god. Look, this is not usually what my concoctions are used for, but at least it worked on you. And he points to Mariella. I mean, it did that. So I'm really sorry, guys.
I'm blind. Is anyone else blind? Mostly blind.
I mean, I've only used up 4 of them. I do have 4. I've got 4 more if you want to go again.
No, actually, I'm okay, thanks.
Oh dear, I think my vision's gotten a little bit better, to be honest.
Nidris and Mariella, as the two of you are kind of sitting there with the terrifying abyssal blind chickens next to you both.
Oh my god.
You have the cart has been wheeled down kind of a narrow cobblestone street. Mariella, Doris had told you to listen to the sound of the waves. You're getting closer to the docks and the warehouses. Yeah, that's a dead giveaway. But there's also the smell of what is obviously a slaughterhouse that's kind of giving it away too. Just kind of standing there, kind of like a chicken tucked under one arm, a knuckle just rapping on the door. The pair of you see Giselle. And now she's just pounding on the door. Now she's like full on like banging on the door.
I'm gonna run for her and try and tackle her.
Okay.
This is for those hoop earrings, you horrible woman.
Okay. Marielle, as you literally off the cart and run towards her, Giselle just turns, and when she does, you do see she's holding a hen under her arm. While its rear feathers are brown, there is a definite green hue to the rest of the hen, and there are these very warm amber eyes kind of just staring up. Giselle just kind of looks at you, and it's like, oh my god, Mariella, like, you're not going to believe what... Give me an unarmed strike.
That is a natural 20.
Wow.
+1. I would like to make this as like a grapple attack, if that's possible. Like this, yeah. And I want to pin her to the ground.
You just see Mariella leap panther-like from the cart and just book it straight at Giselle, and Giselle kind of whip around. Mariella, it's not the first time you've had to tackle a bitch to the ground, especially when clutching something that is probably yours, like an award or a bouquet or a man. And you leap straight at her, and arms straight out, they wrap. You throw your full weight, swing, and Giselle is mid-sentence, completely caught off guard and slams to the ground. Destiny goes up into the air and like wings are flapping kind of very, very frantically. You have Giselle pinned.
I have her pinned to the ground, and I'm going to take out a knife and put it to her. Darling, I know you're a fucking bitch, but you're going to have to level with me on this one. What the hell are you doing? Trying to turn us all into bloody chickens?
One of the wedding presents from Vereri was actually a jeweled dagger, and it's in the bag. So if you wanted to use that, you can, of course.
For flavor, yeah. You nagged it. You know, you saw something spangly and...
Goes with the clutch I have at home.
Yes, you were holding a jewel-encrusted dagger to Giselle's throat. Oh, Mariella, you are so dramatic. It's I just thought it would be kind of a little prank, like a fun little hen party prank.
Then why are you not a chicken? And I'll press the knife closer.
Well, clearly I couldn't be a chicken because I had to take care of the rest of you.
No. I'm going to make this very clear. I've made people disappear before, and I'm going to turn into her, and I'm going to mimic her voice to her. And I've made people disappear much easier than I could do with you. So you're going to talk, and you're going to talk now.
For added effect, I'm going to pick up Cael as an abyssal chicken and run over.
Or else we're going to turn you into one of these fuckers.
And I'm going to shove the abyssal chicken into her face.
Yeah, eat shit.
My God, what is that? No, oh, ew. Ew.
If Granny can, from the cart, she'll just pop her head up and just give evils in the direction to kind of help with in the intimidation.
Granny, give me a roll of a d20 just to see who you point those evils at.
Okay. Yeah, I'm blind. Forgot. Oh no, it's a 6.
You are full on staring at the bugbear, giving him evils, as intense evils as an abyssal chicken can give, and he is. Let's just see if he is intimidated. Oh, it's a nat 20. To be fair, Wiley has dealt with some fairly aggressive chickens before, and he just thinks that, y'all are just a very specific breed of chickens that he hasn't seen, but he knows how to chicken whisper, so he's full on, like, approaching very lowly, like, it's okay, little cluck, cluck, psh, psh.
You may not understand me, but if you touch me, I'm gonna eat your eyeballs. I've got a craving for them for some reason.
Mariella, give me an intimidation check with advantage, given that there's an abyssal chicken in her face and a dagger pressed to her throat.
Dirty 20. I have a +7 to intimidation.
Nice.
Don't kill her before she tells us how to turn back.
How do you think Mariella got all of her starring roles? She was an understudy for most of them.
Slips, trips, and falls.
Uh-huh.
Pressing the dagger a little closer, Giselle, just like, okay, we've all had our little. You can, okay, and she kind of like goes to kind of push the bait. No, okay.
I'm still looking like her too, but hold on. One detail: I'm going to look like her, but slightly older. Continue.
You bitch. I don't age well, apparently, according to this. Okay, fine. Destiny is trotting all around the kingdom like she owns it, with her little musical bow tie on her arm, like she doesn't give a crap about the company that, let's face it, I have utterly redeveloped. I put Whiterock Pharmaceuticals on the map. When it came time for promotion, who did mommy and daddy let be CEO? Oh, was it the girl who opened up our first western branch, I meant to say, but whatever. Was it the girl who has single-handedly upped profits by 112% by poisoning local wells? That's all me. I did that. I mean, I paid people to. I didn't actually go round to Poison Wells. That's a lot of footwork, and between like all my Pilates classes and like meditation.
I'll push the dagger down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Nedris is not happy with this whole thing of somebody saying they're poisoning people at all. She's practically she takes Cael as an abyssal chicken and just sits Cael on Giselle's chest.
Verere and Granny, give me perception checks, and you can do so with actually. And Cael, you can do so as well.
Is it influenced by the fact that we are blind beyond 30 feet?
It's more than. It's not about what you can see; it's what you can feel.
The abyssal chicken can feel.
Yeah,
They've got feelings.
13.
Okay.
Lucky for some.
6.
You're feeling the edge of the box that you're rubbing against there, Granny.
15.
Cael and Verere. Cael, as you're set on Giselle's lap, or like pressed into her, as Nedris is kind of holding you, and Verere, as you're kind of watching, well, half watching, you're not really sure what you're watching on. You can sense what's happening. You can hear what's happening. Both of you, on the other side of the fence, you feel something very cold, almost abyssal. Mariella, as you press the blade deeper, Giselle, just in my bag, compact mirror, there's little tablets that you can take. It was just going to be for a couple of hours. I was going to get the paperwork all settled in. She was going to be able to get married to that little washout musician, and I was going to be made CEO, and she'd step down, and it would have been fine. I wasn't intending on like turning her into, a family bucket meal or anything. That was just a little joke. Oh no, a little joke. No.
Why the chicken? What does this do for you?
There's something in there. There's something in that, and he gestures with a wing. A naked, awful looking wing. There's something in there. There's something in there that feels deeply unholy. I don't know why else we'd be here.
And take it, Nedris is the only person that hears this.
Mariella, you hear it. Oh yeah, no, Nedris, you're the only person that hears it, correct? Yeah.
There's more to it than she's saying.
Could I roll insight to see if she's being totally forthcoming with what she's talking
Yeah,
about?
of course, can.
Okay, that is. I'm glad that I'm rolling on all my good stuff. That is another dirty 20.
You know Giselle, like you know her, and you know when she's bluffing, you know when she's bullshitting. There's one thing she doesn't really play around with, and that's work. It's all she really ever talks about is work. It's kind of the only thing she has. She did all this to become the next CEO of Whiterock Pharmaceuticals.
Mariella is just kind of confused as to the fact that what does turning her into a chicken do to like make her climb up if she's just going to turn her back like with these little pills? Why the chickens? Why this? What does this do for you? How does this bring you up in the business?
Oh, well, I'd be able to demonstrate my little cure-it-all, my little pill of total restoration.
Does this actually work? Is this true? This is a total restoration pill.
You don't look as good as this if you're not taking them.
He's poisoning people and selling the antidote. Fuck this. This is nonsense. There's something in that building.
How many pills do I notice? How many pills she has?
There are like 24 little pills in the
Mhm.
in the piece in the bag.
I'm gonna grab the pills. I'm gonna
Okay, if these really are true,
and I'm gonna grab Giselle and shove one in her mouth, just to see if they don't do anything to her. At the same time, I'm gonna turn to Cael.
do you want to try this?
I can't get any more hideous.
Just straight away into Cael's mouth, and I'm just gonna. Nedris is gonna run across to the cart. It's like there's
Something coming.
and this is gonna run across to the cart to the other two chickens, and Wiley, who's waiting there expectantly.
Mariella's just gonna be like, don't forget Destiny. She's just here too.
Oh yeah, of course, Destiny as well. Destiny. Boop.
There's no sign of Destiny.
Destiny never landed.
Oh,
Nedris, as you pop a pill into Cael's beak and you run back to Verere and Granny, all of you hear the sounds of very panicked, frightened chickens clucking and flapping and a hideous, monstrous roar come from beyond the walls. And then there's just a bang against the metal fence, and there's a huge indent poking out on one side, almost beak-shaped. And then another. Cael, Granny, and Verere, Constitution saving throws with advantage, please.
Okay. All right.
I have to say, dearies, popping pills at 3 o'clock in the morning reminds me of my 20s.
120s, Granny.
11.
I rolled a 15.
I rolled a 19 and it's -1, isn't it, for the abyssal? So 8. Hang on, check.
14 for me then.
The pill goes down, and there's kind of a fizzing sensation, and Cael, you reappear sitting on Giselle's lap with Mariella wrapped around her from on the side, kind of holding her in a grapple. She is deftly pinned at this point. Set on the bench, there's Granny and Verere also restored.
Cael runs a hand through Giselle's hair real close, says, "Hello, sweetheart," and leans back and absolutely lamps her with a head.
Break that nose. Break that nose.
Unarmed strike with advantage.
Oh my god.
11 again. Gonna swap dice.
That hits as you just kind of rear her back and just mash her straight on, and there's a crunch. My nose. Oh my god, my nose.
Don't worry, darling, you can just get it done again.
Granny kind of wanders up. She goes, I won't do the voice. She goes if it's a game, I'm in. And she casts Mage Hands and slaps her one on the face as well.
There's another thud. There's another protrusion from the iron, and Granny, as a doddery old hand, just kind of spectrally wishes from you and slaps Giselle. There's the sound of iron tearing open, and all 5 of you see this razor sharp obsidian black beak just open, and rows upon rows of teeth that seem to move of their own, and this long spindly razor-like tongue just sort of slip out and slap at the air and then pull straight back, and then an eye gets very close to the hole, and you just see this amber shark-like eye just peer out.
Darlings, maybe we need to prepare for something here.
Can I cast a spell?
Yeah, we're not in combat yet.
Okay, this is rude, but I'm going to cast Sanctuary on Mariella because she's so pretty.
I think we've got another match.
We have. I don't, and I'm scarlet doing it, and I know I should probably save the old woman, but I just do. It's done.
Nedris is going to just clap the clamshell thing with the pills closed and just see the eye that's kind of pushes out and aiming right at it, because the eye is a fucking target. A guiding bolt on the eye straight away. Well, it's 21 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit. No, it doesn't.
10, that's 12 points of damage, and the next attack roll against that creature has advantage.
Nedris, you kind of half squaring up to the hole in the wall, and Wiley just kind of goes to kind of half step in front of you, just as a shard of light just kind of erupts around your hands and just explodes forward, and he just takes a very large bugbear step back and just kind of wheels the chicken cart back a little bit away from the road, and you just hear, "Go get him, Nedris. I'll keep an eye on the chickens.
I think that might be for the best. Maybe get some cover. Like, hide your very hulking form behind something.
He goes to hide behind the chicken cart and then realizes that the chickens are his life. And he's very confused as to what to do now. As the bolt just kind of whizzes and it goes straight and it shoots right through the hole and it catches the creature right inside its head, there is a dragon-like roar on the other side. And there's just calamity as hundreds of chickens are now in an absolute state of panic. The chickens in the cart are in an absolute state of panic. Wiley is in a state of panic. Granny and Cael.
I'll drop the voice for the combat anyway, but she turns and she goes like, well, this old lady still has a few tricks up her sleeve and she'll cast Blur.
Blur to Granny it's not a fast blur, it's more of a cataract blur.
Oh, nice.
So it's more just everyone looks at you now as if they have a slight cataract forming.
I love it.
And
We've all
Cael.
become farsighted or nearsighted when it comes to Gran.
Yes.
We just put on glasses. We're like, what the fuck?
Does Cael have any sort of understanding as to whether something abyssal would be more or less resistant to radiant stuff?
Give me a nature check.
Ah, jeez. 11 again. It's all I got. I got the one roll. That's it.
You're not quite sure because you haven't really seen what's on the other side to get a sense of it. You're trying to get a look in through it. All of you just see these two large talons just kind of grip the edges of the hole that the beak had burst through, and the fence is torn in twain. And standing in front of the five of you, there is the most unholy thing you've ever seen. It is part chicken, part velociraptor, part abyssal abomination. There is this long, large, lizard-like, scaled and feathered creature with this long, razor-sharp beak, these little vestigial claws, but with long, razor-like talons at the end of them. And adorning the top of its head, you just see a crown of feathers that seems to trace back along its neck and just dip over its forehead, almost veil-like. And these glowing amber eyes just stare out at the five of you. The beak opens and there's a roar and you just hear, "Marry me!"
Oh, no.
As Bridezilla attacks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Initiative rolls, please.
Amazing.
Oh my god. Okay, 17 for me.
12 for me.
Does the bride have large talons?
Very large chance.
It's an 18 for me.
Cael?
10. He's actually getting worse, so
Oh,
That's
and
cool.
Granny.
6.
Oh, well, see, you're better than the old lady. As this horrifying bride-like monstrosity / velociraptor chicken roars out, it charges straight towards you, Granny. And it literally just bulldozes its way towards you. It's going to try and bite you with its beak, but it's going to be at disadvantage because you've got blur on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of looking, kind of going, I think that's Granny. I think that's an old lady. Oh god, that's not going to be great. Oh man, that was a nat 20 or a 3. It literally chomps, like the beak opens and you see this row of teeth and it just latches. But where it clamps straight down, Granny, you were standing there a moment ago. I mean, you're standing still literally just a couple of inches to the left. Your blurry image is just kind of throwing everything off when everybody looks at you. As it chomps straight down, from its long spindling tail, it whips out a barrage of its razor-like feather scales straight at you, Verere. And that is a 16 to hit.
Doesn't hit.
You just kind of half throw yourself out of the way, and there's thudding as these dagger-like feathers stick into the ground just where you were standing a moment ago. It is Nidris.
I'm still up with Verere and Granny at the cart after giving them their pills, and I have the pill box in my hand.
Yeah.
And the Bridezilla, is it close by after attacking Granny? How close is
It's on top of you and Granny. It went for Granny, but it's on top of the both of you.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Bless and cover myself, Verere, and Granny. I'm gonna hold on tight to the pillbox and just wait, hopefully out of sight. Not being too big enough for this fucking thing to see me.
Give me a stealth check, because its eye is doing that weird lizard thing where it's just moving around.
Stealth 16.
You are oh god, its passive perception is piss. Like I've built the Bridezilla, so it has all the visual capacity of an abyssal chicken, which is none apparently. Yeah, its eye is doing that weird hunting thing for you. No bonus actions or anything like that. Just
I'm gonna harness divine power to get one of my level 1 spell slots back.
Okay, perfect. Verere.
Right. So have I had weapons, but I don't now because previously.
No, we're doing that weird because all your shit was on the cart, so we're going to
stuffs here. How wonderful for me. Okay. I want to do a divine smite.
Perfect.
Yeah, where I'm gonna attempt violence, and then I'm going to try and do 2d8 extra radiant damage to the target.
Don't you? I think you only have to spend it if you hit, right?
Yeah.
And you have bless, but you also have advantage because of the guiding bolt, right? Because it hasn't been attacked yet.
Yes. Yeah.
So you have an advantage on the roll, and a plus 1d4 for bless.
Right. Let's try it then. I'd like to thank D&D Beyond for letting people who can't add one number to another number to play this game. Okay, I'm going to attack with my longsword. Oh, it's 18.
That hits, and the damage on that beauty.
I've got two choices. I've got bludgeoning and slashing. No, I've got 2 slashing, but 2 alternatives. What's the difference?
James?
If there's 2 options under damage, 1d8 plus 2, 1d10 plus 2.
Oh, D8 and a D10 is if you're two-handing it, it's a D10. If you're one-handing it, it's a D8.
Are we all thinking about the bugbear again when we said that? No, just me. Sorry.
And Di, you can have inspiration.
Very good. Okay, that's a 5 damage.
Plus your smite.
Oh, plus my smite. Ooh, that's 2 5s. That's 10.
Oh,
shit! We don't actually want to annihilate her, do we?
But she is the bride after all.
Yeah, it's her special day.
She's Bridezilla. She needs to chill.
Very having kind of just sidestepped the spray of feather-like daggers, and with the kind of the empowerment from Nedris's bless, it's not so much that you go to hack at her. You're holding the weapon, but it's the flat of the blade, and in your hands, it's more of a hurl. That a sword at this point. Like you played for county, and it's just a full punt of it.
It's giving All Ireland realness.
Yes, 100%. There's a jersey under the apron, under the dress, under the apron.
Putting the gay into ga. Jesus Christ.
You swing as if it was the winning point, and you catch the Bridezilla right across her chest and down in, and there is a couple of cracks where you land a good dig. And if this was actually a match, you'd be sent off for it. But sure, no one's counting, and sure, no one's looking, and there's no refs.
No. Hit her, she's no relation.
There's no relation. No.
The ref knows your dad, so it's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's grand, yeah. You get your job in the bank as well afterwards. Bridezilla is actually punted like 2 feet to the left. So where she was looking at Granny, she's now looking straight down at Nedris. Mariella.
So I've got 3 allies within 5 feet. So I'm going to take out my longbow And I'm going to take a little shot at the darling. And just tell her to just relax. You're going to get married soon. It's going to be all over soon. Don't worry. And I'm going to shoot her. Oh, that is a nat one.
I do nat one slightly differently in
Yeah,
my
I was
world.
afraid that this might happen. What is happening?
I will do you the I will be the bad one, but because and to be fair, Granny does have disadvantage on her if you do go to hit her. So if you get Granny, you're in luck because you're going to miss Granny because she's all blurry. So 1 to 2, you are going to hit Verere. 3 to 4, you shoot at Granny but miss, and 5 to 6, you'll hit Nedris.
That's a 3.
I should let you roll because okay, you hit you hit Granny. You pull back the bow, and immediately as you tell her to calm down, Bridezilla's head just snaps back, and it's just, I am calm. The arrow flies free, and there's just a Granny, like 2 centimeters from your head. There's just a twang as an arrow hits the top of the cart.
I just have this look of like, what did I do?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I will use a bonus action, however.
Yeah.
Is Nedris about 30 feet from me, or can I get within 30 feet of Nedris?
You are all kind of within kind of 25 feet of each other.
Okay. Nedris, you've got those pills, right?
I've got him. And they're just like holding them up.
If you're planning on throwing them, tell her to stay calm first. And I'm going to use the help action at 30 feet with my ability, so to give Nedris advantage.
Perfect. Cael.
Okay, he is going to use Radiant Soul. He transforms into his angelic form. Wings sprout from his back. The gold veins that kind of marble his skin glow. And a pair of incorporeal wings sprout. And he takes off. And he is going to fly above, kind of trying to distract her. He will hurl a firebolt at her, just for funsies. That's a nat 20.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I don't accidentally kill her. You max it, don't you?
Yeah. So your whatever the damage die is for fireball, it's maxed, and then you roll the damage as normal.
So that is 10 automatically, +2 for the roll, +3 because of his +3 radiant because of his radiant soul. So 12 fire, 3 radiant.
You all watch as Cael, these glowing golden, like ethereal wings just sort of explode from his back, and he full on spins in an upward dive, half hovering above you all. There are flames wisping and licking at the tips of his fingers, and just from the palm of his hand, there's a concentrated blast of fire magic that strikes the bride straight on the back, and she lets out a howling pain and agony, and her tail and her head just start whipping back and forth, very, very ticked off. Bridezilla's looking a little worse for wear. Granny, it is your action.
Granny like just sees the arrow swipe past her head and starts mumbling to herself, and like turns and starts walking away as if she's just had enough. And then she moves back 25 feet and then turns and like glares at the Bridezilla and casts magic missile at 2nd level at her.
Okay. Roll for damage.
Oh god. So that's 10 points of force damage.
Granny doing what you always do, which is half pretending to be leaving. You're like the worst Irish goodbye. You kind of wave everybody off, and then as you are, little fractals of light kind of start to bend around your bony, wrinkly wrist and fingers, and the light kind of flickers a little bit. The old magic missile there, it's like you haven't paid the electric bill, and it blinks on and off for a second, and then on the 4th blink, just these darts of radiant light just shoot straight towards Bridezilla, and she's struck kind of in the head, the neck, and the torso, and she kind of rears back a little bit. All of you can kind of see that Bridezilla is barely holding itself up. Any bonus action, Granny?
No, that's it. That's it for me.
On that, with its head kind of half reared back, Verere and Nedris, both of you just see kind of half foaming at the mouth, this greenish, yellowish liquid and just this bubbles of spit that hiss and pop. And as they dribble onto the ground, there is a scorching hiss as acid burns through the cobblestone, and she rears her head back. He said I'm beautiful! Acid sprays from her mouth.
God.
Both of you give me dex saving throws.
17.
An 18 from me.
Okay, you both, I mean, you've dealt with your fair share of, toxic individuals one way or another. You knew what onslaught was coming out of her. Both of you half throw yourselves out of the way just in time as a spray of acid just scorches up through the stone, and a few blobs of it splash on both of you. Take 5 acid damage. As this drips from her mouth, she kind of knocks her head sideways. She is going to try and take a chomp out of you, Nedris. That is 22 to hit.
Ooh, that definitely hits.
Okay. You need to give me a Constitution saving throw as well, please.
That's a 14.
Okay. Where her teeth chomp straight down into you, her eye kind of half locks on you in that movie with dinosaurs where a certain dinosaur's eye got very close to the glass so we could all see it and it was a bit spoopy. And you unfortunately do that where you kind of lock eyes with her and you shiver as her petrifying gaze ripples through you. You feel stone cold to your core. It is your action, Nedris.
So am I starting to be petrified or?
Yes, and at the end of this turn you're going to have to give me another saving throw.
Okay, I take the pillbox and I shove it down her throat.
You can give me an unarmed... Actually, I tell you what, this is technically healing.
I could pump a cure wounds into it as well if you want.
Well, I was just going to let you roll off of your medicine rather than an unarmed strike. If I'm assuming you're proficient, so you can give me a medicine check with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, is this okay? Like, does this get advantage for me helping?
Oh yes, yeah, actually, yeah.
I had that and I had bless as well, so I'm like,
oh, you're all doing that thing where like you're trying to give the dog its pills and you put it on its side, and Mariella, you're just stroking its belly, and Verera is just there kind of, oh, you're a good girl,
And then you throw fire at it, yeah.
Magic missile and hope for the best.
Yeah.
And you thump it with force magic. You throw an arrow at it. You know what I mean?
A dirty 20.
Okay. And give me your Constitution saving throw as well while we're at it.
Okay, that's good. 18.
The pillbox / compact mirror in hand, where she chomped down with your other hand, you just shove a handful of pills right down her throat. And you see her eyes kind of twitch and kind of flick and spasm, and her whole body begins to kind of rock violently, and her jaw unclenches from around your arm, and there's a wound, and you can kind of feel that kind of stone cold energy just dissipating from inside you, because at this stage, what Nedris hasn't been exposed to is unknown to, we haven't found it. You just see the Bridezilla abyssal chicken velociraptor monster railing back in agony, and just it tossing its head back and forth, and all the feathers and scales flick, and there's a flurry and a panic from the chickens as just a storm of feathers erupts. Wiley just kind of steps forward. Well, Miss Rosebottle, I reckon you done saved the day there by force feeding that chicken abomination them magic tablets that you somehow acquired, and I was wondering if perchance that you might be available tomorrow night to escort me to the barn dance. And there's just this awkward silence. You're bleeding from your shoulder and your arm where it bit you. And he's just plucked up the courage to ask you. And as the plume and cloud of feathers begins to dissipate, and Cael, from overhead, you can kind of see it first. Standing there in a tattered dress, a veil clinging to one side of her head, a very ripped sash draped over her shoulders, wobbling on all feet. You just see Destiny standing there. I'm getting married in the morning, everybody. And she falls over to one side with a slunk.
He swoops down, arms underneath her as he alights, and like his wings kind of furl in. He says, "Yes, sweetie, yes, well done. Great, you've done great." He checks her over for wounds, and if necessary, he'll give her a little healing hands.
Ariana's going to run over and kind of like mommy her a little bit and like make sure she's okay. And actually, Mariella wants to know, is Giselle still around?
A perception check.
I'm going to use my advantage for my inspiration.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, stunning. They were both basically the same fucking roll, so never mind. Advantage wasted. But they were like, it was like a 16 plus 5 or 4. So dirty 20. Again, me with dirty 20s.
There's no sign of Giselle
Ugh.
anywhere. While he's standing there, cap in hand, just kind of twisting it back and forth a little bit.
And Nedris is gonna pick herself up off the ground and like just kind of like brush herself off a bit, and look up at the at this fella.
I'll be honest. I think I've had enough socializing for the last 24 hours to suit me for a good while. I wish you the best, but I don't think I'm really.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk off.
Okay.
So while in the aftermath, I guess, Mariella is going to sidle closer to where Verere would be and make sure that like Verere and like she's kind of watching everything and making sure that Destiny's like okay, because like Kai is kind of looking after her, and she's going to sidle next to Verere and be like, "Darling, I'm really sorry what I said about your dress. It's actually very becoming. Thank you for your assistance in that fight. It was very lovely." And I'm going to give her a kiss on the cheek. You're a very lovely woman, and honestly, we've had a great time tonight.
So Verere is stuck to the floor and just the stupidest look on her face. Look, the stupidest.
Mariella's going to immediately get like uncomfortable because like her problem around finding someone is that she is way too up her own hole. So she's just going to be like, well, look, darling, if you would like to come to one of my shows, maybe in the town over, and she's going to hand her like a pamphlet, and she's like, just come to one of my shows, maybe, and maybe we can do this kind of thing. Not this kind of thing again. But you can watch me perform or something, darling. It's a good show.
Absolutely. That'd be great.
Lovely.
Hashtag huge if true.
Yeah, lovely. Also, just a little note for everyone. I think Giselle is gone. I think she's done and scarpered. I do have rather incriminating documents.
No, I kind of thought I wasn't going to get paid for this, considering it's not the whole thing, but that would actually be swell.
You mean, you said you'd get paid? I heard you. You mean we'd get paid, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely what I meant. It's not, I lied, but if this is the way this situation needs to go, it's been a long night and I don't fancy drawing it out, so sure, absolutely. I'll see you at your next show and...
Oh, yeah, definitely come see me next. So it's in the town over, by the way. Verere knows. And she'll turn to Verere and give her a wink.
Did anyone lose an arrow?
Oh, you found it. I must have misplaced that one. Sorry, thank you. Oh, you're so good, Granny. Thank you. And she's going to put it back in her quiver.
Granny, I'm just wondering, you've been around the block a bit, and while I know how to make tinctures and salves and clearly some really good fucking hangover cures, would you have any ability to be able to maybe cure... I mean, suddenly I can speak to chickens, and it's a bit fucking disconcerting if I'm honest.
I think that's... but I don't think you should get rid of it. I think it's a great talent to have. Like, you never know when it might come up in the future. You might need it.
How is the inside of the slaughterhouse sounding right now?
Screams. It's the silence of the chickens.
I am right now living with a lot of terror and death, and really, it's either this or move to a very remote cottage in the woods. So
They're not that bad. That's what I do currently. I just live outside the city. It's great. But I do know a few people, so I can put you in the right direction.
yeah, because right now I've got a really bad headache.
Isn't terror and death like your job? Isn't it like another day at the office?
I'm retired.
Sorry. Sorry, never mind. Embarrassing.
At this point, the group are kind of all kind of standing around, and it's still it's past late at night, and it's beginning to become kind of early morning, and there's a sunrise that kind of threatens on the horizon. You can kind of start to see that those plumes of orange and dark deep purples beginning to kind of lift the night sky. Cael kind of half wrestling not half wrestling, but kind of like clambering for the papers found in Giselle's bag and swooping Destiny up into his arms, kind of leads the group, and Bugbear with a cart full of chickens that he didn't manage to sell, as well as the survivors from the McGucket Nugget chicken warehouse. You trundle through the city, and as you make your way back towards the square, the Hen Knight has officially kind of come to an end. And, you do that thing where, a group of people that have been kind of thrust together go, oh, yeah, we'll see you again at the next thing, like in a couple of weeks, we'll get in touch. I have your details. I've got your sending stone. You've got my sending stone, where we can do this back and forth. Cael, you bring Destiny to a safe little inn that you've been kind of tasked with her parents to kind of keep mind of her. And once there, papers in hand, you forge a letter to her betrothed, informing him that she doesn't feel ready to settle down. She doesn't feel ready to tie herself to the concept of marriage. She is looking to find love elsewhere. And a letter arrives at the door of Jebediah O'Dark, a Ara Corcoran musician, and the future lead singer for Forever Rock, a world-famous bard group that travel the kingdoms far and wide, proclaiming heartbreaking melodies about a love that got away. But that's a different story. And we have to actually flash forward just 1 year. 1 year to the day. Granny? While you've been chasing a bounty posted by the Whiterocks for one Giselle Bunchen for crimes against the Whiterocks, including poisoning of wells, kidnapping their daughter, polymorphing their daughter, so on and so forth. With the enlisted aid of Nedris, you've dragged the halfling out of her comfort zone and exposed her to many things, most of which Nedris didn't actually ask for in the first place. But your exposure never killed anybody. Both of you receive a letter from a courier. You have been invited to attend the wedding of Mariella and Verere in a small little chapel in the next town over from Tezrab, where the two had their very first date at a small little production of Much Ado About That Thing. What catches your attention in the invitation is just at the very, very bottom, please note, there will be no hen party. As we bring the Hen Knight to a close, I want to say an awesome and a big, big thank you to Wayne, Kim, and Darren from the Pubcast, and Daithi from Arcavios Eternal, and of course James from this thing that we do. But I really want to thank the five of you for helping to bring the absolute chaos that was a hen party to life in D&D. And where, again, I know we shouted out at the very first episode and stuff like that, but where guys, can we find all of you? Where can we find your stuff? And
My name is Daithi. I played the lovely Mariella Goldwyn. Mrs. Mariella Goldwyn now. You can find me on Arcavios Eternal, hopefully every second Wednesday, usually every second Wednesday on Twitch at the same name, Arcavios Eternal, same on Twitter and TikTok. I am at The Real Baronzaya on Twitter. I'm a graphic designer, animator, motion designer, so if anybody needs assets and stuff done, my business email is on my Twitter. Give me a look up.
You can find all of us at the Irish Pubcast on Twitter. And if you search Irish Pubcast on the usual socials, you'll see us as well. But our D&D game is Sorcery and Shenanigans, which is, you can also Google that shit and find it as well. But it's Pubcast Presents Sorcery and Shenanigans. And all of our episodes of our current campaign are up on YouTube for you to peruse through, as well as our regular pubcasting stuff. So, and individually on Twitter also, you can find me at Wayne Talbot, because apparently I'm the only one on Twitter. I didn't have to put any numbers after my name. So
that's going to be my next Twitter handle.
Yeah.
You'll find me through Wayne's tags on Twitter on my very burnery Twitter name. But remember, if you're looking up the podcast, it's the Irish Pubcast.
James, any parting words for us?
Yeah, I'm James. I have played Cael. I am on Rise of the Forsaken normally and Romance in the Dungeon normally. I occasionally do our Map Makers stream on our Twitch at D8 Dungeon. I am at Zugdboy, and I have also been working on an entirely homebrewed custom class for D&D 5e called the Gunwitch that I plan on releasing ideally sometime in the next month. I don't know when you're listening to this actually, so that'll be up on DMs Guild. I'll be posting like previews on Twitter and stuff.
I'm not to speak out of school. I've seen it and it is very good, so do check it out.
Darren, we didn't get to say goodbye to you. Is that you want to throw in there before I
I just want to say thanks very much for having us. It was a lot of fun. But everyone said stuff, so yeah. I've nothing to say, nothing to add.
You will. Darren is forever the shy giant, so you will find Darren on all the pubcast tags and social medias as well.
Don't worry, Darren. I'll just cut Wayne and Kim from this part, and it'll all be about you.
It'll just be me standing like this going.
I'm Declan, and I've been your Hen Party Bachelorette Liaison Officer / Dungeon Master, I guess. If you would like to have the Bridezilla feature in one of your games, or you'd like to make use of the Intoxicated status, they're available over on Patreon. You can find me at Declan DDY, but I'd actually rather if you just kind of followed us at D8 Dungeon. We are pretty much everywhere on the socials at D8 Dungeon. And it's been an absolute pleasure to play with the five of you.
As someone whose maid of honor lost her on her hen night, brought back some good memories for me.
And I did see somebody kick somebody down a flight of stairs on Kim's Hen Night as well, which was quite like full on 300 Sparta. This is Sparta.
They deserve
kick down a flight of stairs. So this also brought back memories for me. So it's all good.
That actually happened. That was actually Giselle that got kicked down the stairs. It was Mariella who did it.